And from Indianapolis, Indiana, the number 2 seed, the Bulldogs. Coaches and spectators, we ask your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Also, a thank you to the staff covering the game today from ESPNU. At this time, please rise, remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, being performed this afternoon by Green Bay alumnus Miss Maggie Walsingham.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Maggie Walsingham.
The Crest Event Center in Green Bay, Wisconsin is in the spotlight today for the Horizon League Championship. Biggest game of the year for Kailey Klein, along with Shanita Garland of Cleveland State, as well as for Melanie Thornton, Player of the Year in the league, and Brittany Bowen of Butler. Who gets their ticket punched to the NCAA tournament? The answer is coming up. Welcome to Championship Week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. We're at the Crest Event Center on the campus of the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay. Today, the Cleveland State Vikings take on the Butler Bulldogs for the Horizon League Women's Championship. Checking the championship bracket, Friday night big win for Butler over Detroit. Did it with 7 straight threes in the first half. Cleveland State hit 9 threes in the second half and in overtime to upset Green Bay. Greetings, good afternoon. My name is Jim Barber. This is Renee Montgomery. We start with UConn and won a national championship there. Cleveland State 2 years ago won the Horizon League Championship on this very floor. 3 of the 4 seniors are back for this game. Does experience matter?
Experience matters a lot. I mean, it may not show up in the beginning of the tournament, but now when you get to the championship games, that's when your leaders and your veterans step up.
You mentioned leaders. How about Kailey Klein, who started the other night for the Vikings, scoring 29 points. She's had a terrific tournament. What do you like about her?
I just love the way she's playing with a sense of urgency. She's a senior and she knows that and she wants to finish it right. She has 57 points coming into this game, so we can watch for her to try to break the tournament record.
Only needs 17 to do that. On the other side, Mel Thornton is the Player of the Year of the Horizon League. How about her game?
She struggled a little bit offensively these past couple games, but her presence is still felt in the game because of her blocking shot ability and also just the intensity that she brings to the court. She's averaging 11 points and 11 rebounds, so she's still making her presence felt.
In our starting lineups, first for the 4th-seeded Cleveland State Vikings, they featured 4 guards. Kailey Klein and Angel Roque played all 45 minutes in the overtime win against Green Bay. The lone post player is Stephanie Crosley. And for 2nd-seeded Butler, 3-guard attacker Brittany Bowen, Tara Burns and Deborah Brierly combined for 6 threes and 14 assists in the win over Detroit on Friday. The head coach of 18-13 Cleveland State is Kate Peterson-Abiad, her 7th season. Already been to the NCAA tournament a couple years ago, as aforementioned, and built this program virtually from scratch. The Vikings started off in the quarters, knocking off UIC, scoring 78 points. Bettered that on Friday night in overtime with 83 in the victory over the home side Phoenix. For Butler, Beth Kuchar is in her 8th year, 3 straight 20-plus win seasons, has dominated against Cleveland State, but this is arguably her biggest game ever against the Vikings. And for Butler's road, it started at home with a win over Wright State, 70-57, and a great second and first half against Detroit, culminating Friday night in the semis led to a 69-55 victory. Renee, you have played in big games before, the Big East Championship and the National Championship. What are these women going through right now?
Well, right now you're struggling to find a balance. You know you're excited, but you also want to play calm and be ready and make good decisions. So right now you're excited, but you just want to play your normal game.
Carol Caminita, Rod Creech, and Tim Daly will officiate the game as the Horizon League hires. And we're underway. Butler is in the home white. They're the higher seed. And with the basketball nets, Tara Burns, who had 10 assists the other night. At stake in this game, plenty. League championship, automatic tournament bid. And now the Vikings on offense for the first time. 50 is Jessica Roque. She goes right corner for the first baseline jumper of the game. Missed by Garland, and a rebound to Butler. I thought Butler did a great job of beating defensive pressure by Detroit. They shouldn't be rattled by any kind of pressure, I would think.
They shouldn't, but you have Sharnita Garland right there for Cleveland State. She has 94 steals coming into this game, so you have to be a little nervous when she's around you.
You must honor her, that's for sure, and a turnover leads to the second possession of the game for the Vikings. Garland on the preseason All-Horizon first team. How about the keys to the game for Cleveland State?
Well, for Cleveland State, what's important is that they have to be mentally tough. They haven't won a lot of games on the road. They're 5-9 in away games. They can win. They just need to bring the same confidence that they have at home on away games. And then the starters have to start fast. They play a lot of minutes. They pretty much score most of the points, and majority of the stats come from the starters.
And how about for Butler? What's important today?
And for Butler, they need to attack the basket. They have the player of the year down there on the block, so they have to make sure that she gets touches, just like she did right there. And they have to share the ball and take good shots.
Well, they were listening to you, attacking the goal. Melanie Thornton right to the hoop. A 2-0 start for Butler.
Yeah, you have a player of the year on your block. You have to make sure she gets enough touches in the game.
Good cut by Roque. Finds Garland for the baseline, and we are tied at 2. Butler made it to the NCAA tournament back in 1996. That's their last great run, but they've got the opportunity today. Cleveland State, as Kailey Klein had 29 in the victory over Wright State 2 years ago for the title. Back again, and that's an offensive foul on Butler.
They called her for a little illegal screen. They said she was moving on the back pick.
Tara Burns picks up her first foul. Beth Kuchar fighting the fight of all fights, breast cancer, diagnosed almost a year ago to the day. She is cancer-free as we speak. Went through numerous chemotherapy and radiation treatments, and said that Kate Peterson-Abiad was a strong supporter along with the rest of the coaches.
I know it's a great story. You know, she did all her treatment in the off-season, and she would go to treatment, and the assistant coach would pick her up and take her to AAU tournaments to scout players. And her team has been wearing the pink shoes, and they wore their pink uniforms also for a long time, just in honor of her.
Yeah, you can see the pink shoes out on the court with the basketball right now. Low-scoring start, 2-2. Do we see any nerves out there, perhaps?
You can't tell right now. I think both teams are getting the shots they want. Some of the shots haven't fallen, but I think overall both teams are playing their game.
Contrasting styles, where both coaches agree this should be a terrific game. Thornton a little duck down, but she missed it too strong. And the rebound taken down by 50, Jessica Roque. 40 is Angel Roque. They are sisters, separated by 3 minutes of birth.
Yeah, and Angel Roque, you know, she started the past 6 games, and she's been big for them. She's the one that hit a lot of threes going down the stretch. So look for her to just knock down some shots.
You mentioned the pink shoes. You know, they were highlighted in a game actually between Butler and Cleveland State on their Cancer Awareness Day on the campus of Butler. And anyone who had been battling cancer had an opportunity to